Guys, I have to confess something. I bought another bundle. Total Studio Max. Was it worth it? I'm not sure yet. Downloading isn't an extremely smooth experience with IK. I think I'm getting there. In this video I want to cook up a beat using the new sounds and plugins I have from IK Multimedia. And maybe I can also talk a bit about why I went all in for the Max version. Here we have like a table that compares the different versions. One thing I already had before this purchase was Syntronik 2 Max. I like Syntronik sounds quite a bit, so let's maybe start with looking at some Syntronik sounds. I think interesting about IK Multimedia is they have these synthesized, like physical modeling bass and drums, and also this synthesized, not sample-based Hammond B-3X. But Syntronik, the synthesizers they sell, they are completely sample-based. I really like the preset browser of IK plugins and specifically of this Syntronik plugin. You can select a specific synthesizer they sampled, or you can work with categories of presets like, oh, I want a synth bass. And then you also have many more like descriptive categories. Bell like bass, there's only one. That makes sense, that's a bit of a rare thing. That's a bell like bass. Then there's categories of synthesis styles. Maybe we want something analog, that's creamy. I think, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It works pretty well. It's all categorized pretty nicely. Maybe we want an analog creamy pad specifically from like a Juno. That's not really a pad though. Now it unselected all my selections. So it's not flawless. There is some workflow issues, as you can see. Let's go again. Synth pad, creamy, analog. Also, it's not clear whether it's both creamy and analog, but as we can see now, it's creamy or analog. So not as helpful. I would prefer if it was creamy and analog. But we can still specifically search a creamy synth pad by a Juno. And again, this sound fits the description pretty well. And you can even search presets according to music genre. Give me some house organ. That's Syntronik. And with all the presets, you get a fitting nice panels with mostly filter controls. You have these sampled oscillators that you can even select yourself, and then these digital filters. Usually I just work with the presets because they're so neatly organized. So I already had that. Why did I want the Total Studio Max? And why wasn't I happy with the 4 Pro or the regular? One big reason was the MODO Bass. Only with the Max version, you get the full MODO Bass version. And this is by far my favorite bass plugin for electric bass. And now I have all of them. Honestly, the free version, just having this 60s bass with all the adjustments you can make, is already pretty much all the electric bass you'll ever need. But having this huge range of sounds at your fingertips, I think it's fun. I think it's cool. This is one of the few plugins that doesn't use a lot of space. Great. And with the Max version, of course, you also get MODO Drum. I did buy the SE version of MODO Drum, like as an impulse buy for like $30 in the past. And that was a complete waste of money. I never used any of these drum sounds in anything, except the free one, which is this studio drums in a 3 Producers video we did. I don't love how it sounds. With the SE version, you get jazzy. Not bad, but very specific. Silver. I think it has a nice sharp snare, but I also never found a use for it. Brit Custom. Again, these are not terrible, but I also have a bunch of Addictive Drums 2 libraries, and I definitely prefer Addictive Drums 2 over any of these. And now I have all of them, and there is some kits, or specifically kit pieces, that I might find some use for in the future. I think the reference kit isn't too bad. And the Plexi kit has a very nice snare. Of course, the cool thing about MODO Drum is that you can edit these elements in detail. But if the sounds you're working with aren't too good to begin with, I don't love it. I don't love MODO Drum. But let's lay down a groove. I kind of like the Bubinga kit, but I really don't like the Bubinga snare. Alright, of course with the Total Studio Max you also get T-Rex 5 Max, and that's different from the Pro and regular version where you only get T-Rex 5, and there are some processors in the Max version that I kinda like. For example, the Stealth Limiter, which does actually make a decent mastering limiter. Let's look at what kind of compressor we could put on these drums. Not sure about this. I kind of like that. Just some tape saturation, tape compression. Now let's look at Sampletron. This was one of the key plugins in my decision why or if I'm going to buy any of these. It is in the top 2 versions. It sounds great. One thing I wish is that there was the same preset browser as with SampleTank or Syntronik, but you only have this drop-down menu. This is pretty power hungry. I'm getting some skips. Let's add a MODO Bass. I don't know, I think a more hi-fi drum sound would still be cooler maybe. I would usually not use EQs like this honestly, but let's just give it a chance. Alright, that's cool. Sure, let's use it. Anyways, next thing, another reason why I went for the full Total Studio 4 Max version is Miroslav Philharmonik 2. Which you get with this one as well though, yeah. And that's cool because I was working on a project recently where I really felt the limitations of some of the free offerings of, for example, solo strings out there. And I needed some solo instruments. And now I have a decent selection. For example, compared to complete 14 standard, there's pretty much nothing useful regarding solo instruments in there. And I paid way less for Total Studio Max 4 than for complete 14 standard. Let me know in the comments if you're hyped for a comparison between IK's Total Studio Max and Native Instruments Complete 14 standard, which is a video I'm probably going to do. Let's look at some woodwinds. I like solo woodwinds. This is a tiny outdated interface, sadly, but the sounds are good. And you can also use them in SampleTank. You have this nice preset browser you have in Syntronik as well. You have key switches, nice. Let's add a compressor to it though, because these sounds are quite quiet and we're working with quite dense sounds already. I think that's funny. Next to T-Rex, which we already looked at some things in T-Rex, you also get MixBox. And that's a common question. What's the difference between MixBox and T-Rex? Maybe also a video idea. You want me to compare MixBox and T-Rex? To explain it very quickly, I think MixBox is more of a creative effect suite and T-Rex is more of a mixing mastering suite. There is cut down versions of most of the T-Rex plugins in here, like limiters and compressors and stuff. But there's also creative effects like choruses that you don't have standalone T-Rex plugins for. And also some more creative reverbs like this digital reverb. Another reason why I really wanted to buy this and convinced myself to buy it was the Hammond B-3X. Looked interesting and I tested it for a bit and I love it. Again, you have only this drop-down style preset browser and I would love to have the same one as in SampleTank. Something like that. And now for SampleTank, you get SampleTank 4 Max. Actually, the new sounds, the SampleTank 4 sounds, there's a bit fewer than I expected. And one sample set, like this 1973 Stage Electric, they have so many presets with the same sample set going down to here. And then they have a whirly, and the whirly is the same sample set going down to here. And then they have a bass, and all of these are the same sample set. And it's not that many instruments. I think there's some nice new horns, brass, but many of the interesting sounds, I think, are in the legacy SampleTank 3 library, which you get. Some cool sounds, but also, if we just look at these sounds right here, now there's also like violins, and they're from the Miroslav Philharmonik set, and I think probably I have those installed double. That's a bit annoying. Just stealing my storage space for no reason. And then there's also a bunch of expansions for SampleTank that you can download, like this CP70. Or some more synths. Mallets. Let's also add a Syntronik patch just to finish it off. Alright, these are my first thoughts. This is my update. This is my, I bought another bundle. What do you think of the bundle? What kind of videos you want to see me make with my new purchase? Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.